Hey, what's up, Chicago? Welcome to True Star Foundation's Connecting Young Creators 2021, brought to you by 1035. I'm Brandon Pope. You may know me from my work over at WCIU's The Jam. I've been covering everything around Chicago. You can also catch me on Ebony WGN Radio, and I'm also the president of NABJ Chicago as well.
And I am Genesis Denise Hale, the melanated multi-hyphenate actress and MC.
Ooh.
You may know me from the Showtime series, The Chi.
And we're going to be your host for this evening. We also have our True Star correspondent, Christopher Lockridge, here, who's going to be sharing some cool highlights about True Star for us. Lock, what's good?
Hey, how you doing? Hey, Brandon, how you doing? My name is Christopher Lockridge. I've been a part of the street content creator team for a few months now. Today, I'm going to be telling you some of the great ways that your donations can help True Star Foundation and the youth of Chicago. Back to you, Brandon.
All right. Thanks a lot, Locke. Really appreciate that. You know, this foundation, it's evolved from being just a newsletter to a magazine, and now it's an innovator in the digital content space, and we're raising funds for True Star Foundation, but we need your help to stay connected. Now, True Star Media and the foundation, they champion the voices of Black and Latinx youth by valuing their lived experiences and providing a platform from their perspective. Each year, True Star provides job training opportunities to over 350 youths ages 11 to 24 living in under-resourced areas in the South and West Side of Chicago. Really impactful work here.
True Star's mission is to provide training for an underdeserved youth that teaches them how to create, produce, and market digital content on platforms that empower them to
at this point is frozen as we get to our next thing here. I believe we have a video presentation.
Rhyme Fest. So let's be clear. Without that vote, there would be no war.
This is True Star Radio with Team Speak the Truth. I'm Power 90.
A journalist from True Star Junior magazine will shadow you on this press tour. True Star Junior is a magazine for the urban youth. It reaches over 1 million teens and young adults all over the country. And the winner of this week's hit list not only is going to win, will get the cover of True Star Junior magazine.
Kennedy. I'm a senior at Whitney Young, and I've been a part of the True Star marketing program over the past 2 years. This summer, I was selected to intern at Leo Burnett, which is an advertising agency in downtown Chicago.
Hey guys, I'm Kyla, and I'm a freelance writer for True Star. I've only been at this program for about a month, but honestly, it's been one of the best months of my life. I feel like I'm being so pushed and encouraged to write more and be more thoughtful, and I honestly am so grateful for it.
Hope you're tuning in to True Star Foundation's Connecting Young Creators 2021, brought to you by 1035, a creative company specializing in transforming brands through culture. I'm here with my co-host, actress Genesis Hale.
Hey, Brandon. 1035 is a full-service advertising company that nurtures, champions, and rewards creativity born out of an unrelenting curiosity for culture, all with the purpose of promoting growth for our people and partners. And that's why we're here today, to connect young creators to you, the followers, and the donors.
Now, Genesis, you're a young creator yourself. What does it mean to you to be a creator here in Chicago?
Oh, it means the world to me. How about you, Brandon? I feel like, honestly, it is beautiful. I think it is something that everyone needs and that it benefits the world.
Absolutely. I mean, the thing about being a reporter, being a journalist, is creativity has to be your guide. That's what sets apart the average reporters from the ones that really do a great job doing what they can for their community and finding great ways to tell stories. That's what it's all about. You're doing the same exact thing, finding creative ways to tell stories, especially the stories of our people. So it's really important stuff. We have a special guest joining us this evening, Erica B. Davis. She's the program director of the Office of Violence Prevention. It's been a valued partner of True Star. Let's see how she connected with the foundation.
Rhyme Fest. So let's be clear. Without that vote, there would be no war.
This is True Star Radio, where teens speak the truth. I'm Power 90.
A journalist from True Star Junior magazine will shadow you on this press tour. True Star Junior is a magazine for the urban youth. It reaches over 1 million teens and young adults all over the country. And the winner of this week's hit list not only is gonna win, will get the cover of True Star Junior magazine.
Kennedy. I'm a senior at Whitney Young, and I've been a part of the True Star marketing program over the past 2 years. This summer, I was selected to intern at Leo Burnett, which is an advertising agency in downtown Chicago.
Hey guys, I'm Kyla, and I'm a freelance writer for True Star. I've only been at this program for about a month, but honestly, it's been one of the best months of my life. I feel like I'm being so pushed and encouraged to write more and be more thoughtful, and I honestly am so grateful for it.
Davis, she's a leader in the violence prevention space. How you doing, Erica?
I'm amazing. How are you today?
I'm great. Great to have you here. Oh, can they hear you? Let me just make sure we got the mic here. Back here with Erica B. Davis, a leader in the violence prevention space. Erica, how you doing?
Amazing. How are you today?
I'm great. Great to have you here.
Awesome. I am so excited to be here.
Oh, I mean, this is exciting stuff, right?
Absolutely.
One of the things I want to talk to you about, you are a leader in the violence prevention space, and you have this program here. It's called Dating Matters Shy, a teen dating violence prevention program. How does that work? How does those two intertwine?
Sure. So the Chicago Dating Matters Initiative is a program out of the Chicago Department of Public Health. And the goal really is to increase young people's awareness about dating and how violence can interrupt that. So we really raise awareness and provide education so that they can make decisions that are healthy. And when we talk about relationships, we're not just talking about intimate relationships, but we start helping them to build relationships, parental relationships, friendships, any type of relationship in a healthy way. So when they get to the place of dating, they will have some solid skills and make decisions that are healthy for them.
That's important. Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Let's talk about resilience. You led Recast, a program that builds community resilience. How can young people be resilient in these times when dealing with a pandemic, gun violence, and COVID-19?
So that's a great question. Resiliency in communities after stress and trauma is the actual name of our program. So Recast really supports communities and encourages young people to tap into their inner self, right? So we're talking about assets and coming from a strength-based perspective. Young people have great talents and skills and things that help them absolutely be the very best that they can be. But the thing about resilience is that you have to practice it. It's like a muscle. You have to practice and build it so that it strengthens. So the more you encounter things that may feel a little uncomfortable and things that may impact our lives negatively, we have to use those skills. For example, I encourage young people, pause before you respond. Give yourself a moment to think of 3 things that will help you make a better decision. I encourage young people to tap into the adults or folks that they trust in their lives so that they have a foundation, because we all have a capacity for reaching out, but we can't always be strong. So we need to build our own community, and that can include whoever they feel is best for them. Another thing I encourage young people to do is really think positively about life, right? We're all understanding that things are tough right now. Trauma is the buzzword of the day. But there's another side on that coin, and that is the resilience piece. And that is really trying every day to think about the positive things that they encounter, even when the silver lining is barely a glimmer.
Ooh, man, you're preaching over here.
Amen.
What got you or motivated you to get into this work?
Oh, so it's really a long story. But
Let's hear it.
yeah, I started out my career in child welfare.
Mhm.
And from there, I went into hospital response. I was able to work with families and individuals, providing supports that would perhaps lead them in a different path. Those young people between the ages of 10 and 24 who would come to our trauma center, those young people needed additional help, right? So they were coming to us with gunshot wounds and stab wounds and those types of injuries. How can we change the trajectory or offer something that would help them think differently about how their lives can go? After those 2 encounters, I realized that I really wanted to catch people before they entered systems, before they were injured, before there were problems. And that led me into public health, which has a primary prevention focus. Right? So
Because a lot of violence we see, it's a public health crisis.
we talk about it as a public health crisis. And so that's how I actually got into the work with the Department of Public Health and have been doing it now for more than 20 years.
I love that.
Well, Erica, we want to thank you for being a lead supporter for True Star's first festival. From the Go Fest, it was lit.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was
Tell us
lit.
why. Please, for your last question, tell us why events that showcase youth talent, businesses, and ideas are so necessary.
All of those things are really necessary because, one, we want to make sure that we give young people an opportunity again to shine, right? To show their talents, to show skills. We want to also make sure that we're giving young people an opportunity to expand capacity, giving experiences. So if you have a talent, if you have a business, if you have an idea, we create connections for young people to engage, to become better, to create opportunities, right? And then another reason why it's so important for me as a manager of these programs with some flexibility and being able to create and develop programs, it is really important that we tap into organizations that actually have access to young people. Believe it or not, many of the tables that we sit at, where decisions are made, where funding is allocated, young people are not sitting at those tables with us. And I've made a commitment to work with this organization and others to really be able to access young people who actually deserve the type of service, the type of support, and the type of, let's just say, love that we can give to them so that we can set them on a path for success.
That's awesome. Erica, thank you so much for
Thank
being here
you.
and sharing your light. Really appreciate it. It's now time to throw it back to Locke so we can tell you some. Oh my.
Erica, we have just a small token of our appreciation for not just the work you do with True Star, but the work you do throughout the city. You are a warrior in this space, and you've supported us for so long, and True Star would not be where it is without you. And we just thank you for your commitment to the community, to young people, and in investing in young people in True Star programs. We appreciate you so much. And this is just a small token of that you could just sit on your mantle just to know that we love you.
So much to me. I appreciate it and appreciate the commitment that you two have made to ensure that young people have what they need to be successful. That's the goal.
Yeah.
Thank
Well
you.
deserved. Well deserved. Thank you so much. Let's go get over to Locke. He can tell you some cool ways you can keep True Star connecting young creators.
Thanks, Brandon. By donating as much as $100, you are giving the youth in Chicago the opportunity to create. Visit elevate.truestarfoundation.org to donate now. Up next, True Star journalist Deja Garner got a chance to talk with Chicago's very own Doma T. Pongo, an MTV correspondent and host of True Life Crime. Check it out.
I am an 18-year-old senior at Gwendolyn Brooks College Prep, and I'm also a member of the True Star journalism team. Without further ado, we have the MTV correspondent and host of True Life Crime, Mr. Domisi Pongo. So how are you doing, Mr. Pongo?
I'm better now, Deja. It's great to meet you. Thank you for having me.
Great to meet you as well. So I heard that you have moved to New York City. What is one thing that you miss about Chicago?
Oh, man. Driving down Lakeshore Drive and just collecting my thoughts. That was my best version of self-care. Driving down Lakeshore, looking at the skyline and just cruising without a care in the world. I miss that the most.
How did you know that broadcasting was the right career for you?
I was working in corporate America and just not feeling fulfilled, that I said, I need to go back and find something creative to do. And so I just interned at a radio station, and that internship at WVON turned into a job as news director, and everything took off from there. And I felt so comfortable behind that microphone that I knew it was for me.
And I can relate. I'm an aspiring investigative reporter, so I'm with you. I'm excited about, my career path. So yeah.
Oh, we here.
Yeah, we are. So how did you go from WVON to MTV?
That's a long story. Here's the short version, Deja. So I while I was working at WVON, what I would do is, to supplement my income, I'd host anything that folks allowed me to host. I started my own open mic at the Southside Community Arts Center was one of the locations we had it at. It was called the Artist Lounge with my co-host, Jonetta Anderson, also known as Authentic Poetry. And that began to open me up, get my hosting skills in order, but it was a good marketing tool for myself. And so, you know, I took part in as many panels as I could. I hosted galas, award shows locally, all local events. Well, eventually, I got called to sit on a panel at the Publicity Club of Chicago. I was the only Black person on the panel and the only person under 40 on that panel. Ironically, one of the other panelists was in leadership at WGN Radio. She heard me speak and offered me a job at WGN. After working at WGN for a while, I found out MTV was casting for an investigative journalism job right in your space. And when I found out about that, you know, put my name in the bid, and you know, I became the host of True Life Crime. We shot the pilot. A few months passed, and they reached back out to me and let me know about a full-time job at MTV News. And then a few months after that, I learned that the show was greenlit for a first season. And so that's kind of the quick version of how I ended up over in New York at MTV News.
Like, that's dope, seriously. So you're also the host of MTV docuseries True Life Crime. So what are some obstacles that you have faced, and how did you overcome them?
Specifically with hosting True Life Crime?
Yes.
I think the biggest obstacle was the learning curve, because I'd gone from radio to television. Now, I did freelance on TV every now and then, but there's a different kind of sensibility you have to have on TV versus radio. You know, in radio, you know, it's all about the voice, and it's all about making sure there are no awkward pauses unless you're using it for dramatic effect. On TV, those pauses can create a tension and drama that comes across on camera that makes the viewer feel like they're in it. So I had to learn some of that. And doing a show just as difficult as True Life Crime, it's the emotional aspect, right? Talking to people whose best friends have passed away, whose daughters and moms have passed away. And so finding ways to decompress after very hard interviews was probably my second obstacle. So just the learning curve and remaining emotionally present, probably the main two.
I know with being an investigative reporter, you have to deal with a lot of, you know, detrimental things that's going on. And I know it's going to be kind of hard for me to, you know, separate my life from my job.
It's going to be great. You're going to do well because, you know, just the fact that you're already thinking about it now is the key. And the great thing about, you know, your generation, growing up in social media and the kind of journalism that you're doing at True Star, it's also about you as an individual. So the person you're talking to is going to appreciate when you get emotional, because they'll know they're talking to another human being, not just a reporter who's coming in just to tell their story. So it'll all work in your favor. Mm-hmm.
So in your opinion, why do you think True Star is a really important program for kids to be in?
This interview is proof. I wasn't interviewing like this at 18 years old. I mean, look at you. This is wonderful. You know, it's so important to expose young people to the correct ways to tell stories, to express themselves, because all across our city, our young people are getting involved in so many things that could take them away from their dreams, their passions, their actual purposes in life. And True Star is one of those organizations that is clearly tying youth to the things that are most important. You know, you're learning things that even if you don't stay in journalism, that will always serve you, from articulation to telling compelling stories to the confidence you get from speaking to folks, you know, and the relationship you're able to get with folks. I mean, those things will serve you no matter what you're doing. I wish I was in a program like this when I was younger. And, you know, whatever I can do to champion the work that you're doing and invest in you guys, I'm more than on board to do it.
I know it has allowed me to enhance my public speaking skills. Like you said, having the confidence to even, you know, talk to a lot of people. It's not easy. It's not easy. So I know this has gave me the skills.
You make it look easy. And I think what's so amazing about True Star is, you know, we're all on social media already. You guys are taking in news and information and all of this content already. You're far more advanced by the time you're 13 with your cell phone, maybe even younger than I was at that time. So now we're learning through True Star how to use that information and those skills responsibly. So it's invaluable, man. Programs like these are so invaluable.
So for a person like me who is an aspiring investigative reporter, what should I be doing now to begin my career?
Oh, man, the first thing is exactly what's happening right now. Just getting out there and doing it. That's the best way. Practicing in public. I think you shouldn't ever be shy about practicing in public too. I've made mistakes on stories. I've flubbed words on live segments. You just have to do it. You're not gonna get around those things. You just gotta do it. And the sooner you do it, the less likely it is that you're gonna make those same mistakes again later in your career. So that's the first thing. And then I just say, using your platform and making sure that you champion the stories that mean the most to you personally.
Many young people are falling for societal traps. What advice would you offer to the youth of Chicago?
Oh wow, that's a big one. Since we're talking on True Star, I'll start with the self. I'd say surround yourself with people whose dreams and passions mirror your own. If you want to be a photographer and there's this kid over there who is an artist, get cool with that person. I think a lot of the things that get us caught up in those traps, I got caught up in them too when I was in high school. I wanted to hang with the guys. I had two groups of friends. I had the friends that were in the streets, and I had the friends that were in the music. And sometimes those people overlap. And I had very clear choices where I would choose one side over the other. And it's only by God's grace that I'm even at this position now. I could have made mistakes that could have cost me my life. And so I would tell those kids, if you got a dream, you got a passion, you ain't never too cool to hang with the other creatives who are just as passionate about that thing as you are. And you'll find out that those people that you stay connected with, those may be the friends that you have for the rest of your life. Those may be the experiences that you take with you. There are things I learned from hanging with musicians, from making music that I still use today. Like we talked about, stage presence, confidence, enunciation, all of those things that I use as a journalist, I learned as an MC from hanging with guys who wanted to be rappers. And so I would say that, and the friends that, I had to separate myself from, some of them have passed away. Some of them are in jail. And some of them are rooting me on from afar, but I can't get close to them because of the nature of what I do and where our lives are. And so if I could go back and, tell a young person anything, it's to connect yourself to people whose purposes mirror your own.
You've proven to be a talented force in the industry. So what's next for you?
I want to create some independent content, and I want to be able to continue to champion marginalized voices. Right now, we're working on content that we're selling to different networks. So that's the one part. Because, I worked on a segment with Mona Scott Young, who produces the Love and Hip Hop series for VH1 and a couple of other franchises. And I asked her, I was like, Mona, what's something that you wish you knew back in the day? And she said, I wish I knew the power of intellectual property and owning it yourself, owning your own intellectual property. So with that piece of advice, I'm going out there, selling some intellectual property, some things that I own in addition to the work that I'm doing over here at MTV News. And I just want to continue to show that you can be a Black boy from the west side of Chicago, the south side of Chicago, Black girl from the crib, and make it to where you want to go by still being your authentic self, with your kinky hair and jewelry on and everything. There's still a space for us as credible investigative journalists. And I think that, the people who have paved the way for me, and hopefully I paved the way for the shorties to be able to be themselves in a professional aspect too. And so that's another part of my mission as well.
I thank you for taking the time out of your day to come and talk to True Star.
Thank you, Deja. Thank you to the whole True Star team. I'm so proud of you, and I'm so proud of everything that you guys are doing. So happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Rock, slide, twist, 1, 2, 3, go left, back, right, back, up, back, down, back, go. Watch out for the big girls. Now bang, 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 rotate for me, hands up like yeah.
Tuning in to Connecting Young Creators 2021, a fundraiser for True Star Foundation. True Star is all about being resilient, but as hard as we try, we can't do this without the help of the people like you. Your support today will make future job opportunities possible for area teams in broad field of communications. If you're into making a fashion statement, visit shop.truestarfoundation.org and pick up one of our t-shirts or any of our merch to show your support. To stay connected with us, follow us on Instagram at true.shy, on Facebook at True Star for Life. True Star for Real, or Twitter, truestar.life.
Thank you, Locke. As TrueStar continues to grow into the digital space, it has been able to offer more job opportunities for Chicago's youth. Due to the high demand of digital content and marketing, TrueStar created a super team to give more advanced creators the opportunity for growth, a place to create more content and even work on their client projects. We have a member of the super team here, and her name is the Alicia Wormley. Hi, Alicia.
Hey, how you doing?
Great to see you. Great to have you here. So first of all, how'd you get started with TrueStar?
Okay, so I got started when I was a junior in high school in 2016. I was looking, for a job to do, and all of a sudden I was like, oh wait, TrueStar has like a graphic design program here. Because I already knew about TrueStar because my brother worked for them like when he was in high school. So it was kind of like a family thing at that point. And then, I decided to join, and I stayed all throughout high school. And then, 5 years later, I'm still here.
That's awesome. What would you say has been one of your more memorable experiences with TrueStar?
That's kind of tough because honestly, I have a lot. Like, I've been able to be in the Billiken Parade. I've been able to go to Complex Con and see LMA perform, meet one of my favorite artists, Sweetie. I've even was able to go to Lollapalooza this past summer. So like it's honestly hard to pick just one because like it's been so many things over the years that I've enjoyed.
Bud Billiken Parade, was y'all dancing? What was y'all doing?
We had a float.
You had a float? Okay. No dancing for you?
No.
Tap ins and Sweetie's your favorite artist?
I'm a tap into the ground.
Now, you are currently a student at Columbia College. What is your major, and how has your experience at TrueStar helped you along your journey?
Oh, TrueStar has helped a lot. So my major currently is social media and digital strategy. And so TrueStar has helped because it's basically giving me like on the job training. Like it's already kind of giving me experience doing what I want to do. Because I think I kind of want to go into more content creation or social media managing. And so I've been able to like write articles for TrueStar. I've been able to interview people, create posts for their TikTok, their Instagram. So I've already kind of gotten experience, doing what I do in my major already. So it's already, prepared me for what I want to do.
Yeah, that's the power of TrueStar right there. That's what it does right there. Gets you ready, gets you set for the future ahead. Congrats on Columbia College, Chicago. I'm actually now an adjunct professor there, so hope to see you around. Maybe on my on-air talent class. Should be fun. And thanks for sharing your TrueStar experience with us.
Thank you.
Now let's take a look at one of TrueStar journalism students who's not only gaining a job and experience for writing for TrueStar, but they're also recently TrueStar, they partnered with the professional soccer team, the Chicago House, and they're interning for them as a broadcasting student. This is Jeremiah Griffith. He's a junior at Noble Academy, 23 years old.
What's up, everybody? It's Jeremiah Griffith from TrueStar Magazine. I'm a 16-year-old junior at the Noble Academy and a member of the journalism team for TrueStar Magazine. I've been here for 2 months, and I gotta say it's been great. In the 2 months that I've been here, I've been able to cover the WNBA games, WNBA playoffs, the finals, and even a parade. I gotta say that being at TrueStar, it enhances my skills because I love writing, but I also love taking feedback from other professionals like Mrs. Marty. She's really helped me with my writing. Even though I was already a great writer, she always gave me like open-ended feedback, and I really appreciate that. Also, TrueStar, it gives you opportunities that you would never get as a 16-year-old at any other company or fast food job. I've been able to land an internship with an up-and-coming soccer league. It's called NISA, NISA to be exact. It's with the Chicago House AC. and I've started that, and I've a lot of opportunities and experiences that I never would have gotten anywhere else. And when I came to True Star, that's what I was looking for: criticism, constructive criticism, and feedback, and opportunities to help me move to the next level, and things to put on my college resume. With my internship at the Chicago House AC, gave me like a lot of experience and improving my interviewing skills and my writing skills and working with other professionals in the sports world, which is something that I look to go into as I get older and as I complete college and get my higher education and whatnot. As a sports writer, as an aspiring sports writer, writing for True Star really helps me because I become like a diverse writer, and I'm able to write about different things that I might not be comfortable writing about most times. And I've written about world news, the sports, music, everything. So when you come to True Star, they won't limit you to one thing, and whatever you want to do, they'll support you. So when you come to True Star, that's what you can expect. So if you're a young person out here and you want to get away from all your family troubles and all the other bad things that's going on, especially if you're in Chicago, if you're a youth in Chicago and you really want to find something else to do because you know that your environment is not how you like it to be, come to True Star. You'll always have something to do because they always keep you busy, right? So you won't be in the house maybe or playing a game with your friends or bored. You'll never be bored. I'm never bored. Thank you for tuning in. We connecting young creators. Make sure you donate to True Star and inspire the youth.
Star has so many amazing students. Your donation goes towards providing area teams with a stipend for the work that they have created during these jobs. We also have some amazing partners, and you can become a partner too. A $500 donation can help the youth by providing a kit of equipment that enables the youth to create content independently at home. Your $1,000 donation helps to employ a youth for an entire year. This provides financial relief to students and families while showing young people the value of work. I'll be back later, but until then, go ahead and donate right here on Facebook or at elevate.truestarfoundation.org. And now I'm gonna send it right back to our host.
All right, Locke, thanks so much. You're doing amazing, man.
Thank you, Locke.
What you said there, $500, $1,000 goes a long way, because I think about when I was in school, when I was a student, having opportunities early is what set me up for where I am now.
Yeah.
If I didn't have work when I was in high school I was making music videos to Lil Wayne songs and stuff like that. If I didn't have that experience in college covering the Olympics and covering NFL football and stuff like that, I would not be here today. And so the work that True Star is doing, it's valuable, but it costs money. It costs money. So that's why it's really important that you find a way to help out today and help these students to a brighter future. Now, let's talk a little bit of Genesis about you and kind of your journey. I'm interested in how you found out you got your role on The Chi.
Oh, well, really just like any other actor kid, we sit doing whatever we love to do. And all of a sudden, like our mom or our parents will come in and they'll be like, oh, I have news for you, or your agent just called. And we have to usually call back and figure out why. So this time we called back and my agent was like super excited. She was like so excited. And she was like, what happened? And I was like, oh, I was like trying to figure out what the problem was. I was like, did we get it? Did we not get it? She was like, you got it. And then we were all screaming and we were happy. That's really what was happening. It was more like it was very quick. It lasted like 30 seconds. It was a call, screaming, and then food.
Was acting always a dream for you?
Yeah, yes. At first I was theater, but it, progressed to TV, as I got on into doing auditions and things like that.
Well, you're doing so well, so young. As you look forward, look ahead a little bit for me. Who is a dream actor or actress you would love to work with on a project?
Oh, Mahershala Ali. Absolutely. That's my first and always. Mahershala Ali and Violet.
Today we're here with Datavio Samuels, CEO.
Midnight strikes, where is my prince? Lost my comfort, no time to think. Broken and bruised, tell me what I am. Feel so unused, help me find your hand. I guess the sun still waits here. Gotta hold it up for him. Carry me home. Bear my weight on your shoulders. Carry me home. Nothing else matters. Carry me home. Bear my weight on your shoulders. Carry me home and don't let go. Say that don't ever say things so you can hear. Yeah, the waiting, oh, for your seas to feel. Now this world that seems so hard, place down and leave to hurt. Now I feel like I've become your pain, and God won't be safe with me. I guess the sun still waits here. Gotta hold it up for him. Carry me home. Bear my weight on your shoulders. Carry me home. Nothing else matters. Carry me home. Bear my weight on your shoulders. Carry me home and don't let go. I guess the sun still waits here. Gotta hold it up for him.
All right. Thank you so much to Zaya for that performance. She's actually the co-founder of that Go Fest, which is an outstanding outstanding. That was an outstanding thing that happened.
It was lit. I was there.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Yeah.
LITT lit, a lituation, Lydianapolis,
Oh my God.
Litzburg, Austin, Liddy Limits. All right, now let's check out the True Star founders and their families. Chat with one of our recent partners, the Director of External Relations for AT&T, Elaine Granger.
Welcome, everyone, to Connecting Young Creators 2021. We are the co-founders of True Star. So happy to have with us today Miss Elaine Granger, the Director of External Relations for AT&T. You know, this event is all about celebrating how True Star connects young people, connect them to their potential, connect them to opportunities, and AT&T has been an integral part of helping us give connections to young people through the Believe Chicago program. Most notably, giving us media access to All-Star 2020, NBA All-Star 2020, where our students got to attend and cover several events. They got to sit with international media. And we know when you put young people in those spaces, they look around and they say, I could be that. I could be that. And they believe that they can be in these places. So Elaine, tell us, how important is it to continue to connect young people to opportunities?
Oh my gosh. So first of all, I'll tell you a little bit about Believe Chicago. And that's AT&T's initiative that looks at anti-violence and unemployment in the 19 neighborhoods on the south and west sides of the city of Chicago. And it started as an idea, actually, from our president. She basically was like, there's got to be something that corporate can do that will assist with, you know, the violence that's going on in the city and unemployment. So we went out and did like a listening tour and did all of these various things, talking to organizations and people. And with that, we came up with the Believe Chicago idea. Now, when we did that, we did not know that it was going to expand as much as it did. So her thought, and her name is Eileen Mitchell, her thought was just to get it started here. And now it's actually turned into an international initiative for AT&T. So we have Believe Dallas, Believe Atlanta, Believe all these different cities now, but it started in Chicago.
Awesome. That's awesome. So with True Star, we've provided jobs to over 10,000 young people throughout the city, 350 a year. And I know you said with Believe Chicago, it's all about jobs. And we know that when you provide young people with early work experience, it, you know, really sets them on a path to being their best selves. So tell us a little bit more about why it's so important for young people to have these early experiences through jobs.
So when you're looking at kids that are sometimes in, you know, underserved communities, they need exposure. It's just as simple as that. And they can be anything they want to be, but they don't know what they want to be until they can see it. So for AT&T, it's very important that we allow those opportunities. So you mentioned, you know, the All-Star game and the 2020. You know, I was like, I want to be a kid right now, you know, because they had a beautiful experience to be able to go and actually interview some of the athletes. They were involved in all of the activities for the practice day, you know, and watching them and just watching them, you know, experience the whole thing and how excited they were. That was something you can't measure, you know, and I know that seeds were planted in those kids that day with the opportunity that they had, because they don't usually have it.
Absolutely.
You know, so they'll always remember that.
Yeah, their faces lit up. Yes. Oh my God. To have on your resume, I covered NBA All-Star 2020. That's going to be definitely a talking point.
Yeah, and you interviewed, you know, some of the athletes. And you got a chance to see all of that and experience it. So it wasn't just being in the room. They got the actual work experience of being able to do what they saw, you know, some of the professionals doing and who they aspire to be. So that's important.
Critical. And you mentioned being in the room. It's not just being in the room, it's being in the right room. Learning that early.
Right.
So, AT&T Believe Chicago recently provided digital scholarships to True Star alumni to get a variety of IT certifications. So why do you think that it's important to offer these type of opportunities to underserved youth?
So you have kids, that you can get before they get into high school.
Yeah.
You have the ones that are in high school that you're trying to catch so that they don't get into any bad or have bad experiences or go down the wrong path. And then you have those that have graduated, but if there's nothing for them to do and they don't have jobs waiting for them, then they miss, opportunities and sometimes go down the wrong path. For us, it's important that we look at, not just the youth, but 16 to 24 to 28, so we're looking to just really try to work with organizations. So reaching out to your alumni, giving them an opportunity to do something that's IT related, because we're a technology company. So you get the experience. There were 3 different certificates that they could take and get a scholarship for, and once they've completed that, that's something that goes on their resume.
Exactly. And with AT&T being a huge technology company, and even, with the Warner Brother partnership, or however that works, entertainment, you have so much insight into just what young people need to one day be working for AT&T. So can you give us some advice, or give some of our young listeners and young viewers about what they can be thinking about now to set themselves up to be able to work at AT&T?
So the digital scholarships were a good example of that. You're looking at e-commerce. COVID put us in a position where everything then had to start going online, digital and that, but then we're a wireless company, so you're looking at all of the new technology, the fiber and all of those things that are providing faster speeds. So kids getting involved in that type of, arena as well is what would lead them to a company like AT&T. But you got to look at AT&T as a vast, organization, in the sense that they could be at any country, they could be in any city, they have the opportunity to do any position. But when you're thinking technology, then that's one of the ones that you definitely communication, which is what you all are all about.
Technology and communications, that is so critical, because we know the wealth gap is being created because our young people aren't prepared for these technology jobs. And through our partnership with you and AT&T Believe Chicago, we've been able to bust that wide open, put them in the room, put them in the right rooms, give them this technology experience, give them exposure to these different potential jobs. And we just want to thank you, Elaine. We do not take your partnership for granted. We appreciate you so much. These are the type of opportunities that put a feather in our cap so we can go out and tell people, look what we can do. And it's always important for corporations to give their fiscal and financial support, but there's so many other ways that they can extend support to organizations, and you truly exhibit that. And we want to just honor you today. We have a small token of just a little something just for you to put on your desk. And this is to Elaine Granger. Thank you for your continued support of Chicago Youth and True Star programs. Thank you, Elaine, so much. We really appreciate you guys. And thank you. Stay with us for more great things. Elaine, you are a gift to the community. I know you help not only True Star, but so many organizations that I could name that you seed into. And we are here and still thriving because of the support of you guys. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for coming with us. And again, thank you, Elaine.
Oh, thank you. This is like Thanksgiving early.
Creators 2021, brought to you by 1035, a creative company specializing in transforming brands through culture. I'm Genesis Denise Hale, here with a TS alum and digital strategist from Publicis Group, Miss Kayla Criddle.
Hi guys.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Not big crit, Lil Crit.
Lil Crit. So, Lil Crit, please tell us about your experience at True Star.
Well, I've been with True Star for a minute. I first came when I was a freshman in high school, and I had a camera, so they needed someone to go out with the journalists and take pictures at different events. So even though I was just taking pictures, I got a lot of experience. I got to see how they were conducting interviews and got to see how they were networking, and I got to see what it was like to be a part of the press. So when it finally did come, like the time where I decided I wanted to do journalism, I felt like I was well prepared. But I joined the the freelance team, and I did that for about 2 years. And while I was doing that in the summer, I did the radio program that True Star has with After School Matters. And that's something that I never thought I would do, but it became the highlight of my summers. So yeah, I did radio, and then my senior year, I was a part of the marketing program. So I've been through a lot of phases here at True Star, but I can genuinely say that I enjoyed all three of them.
That's really awesome. And the big thing about True Star is like preparing people for success professionally and what they're going to do for a career. How do you think, you kind of talked about it a little bit, but how do you think True Star really did that for you in preparing you for the workforce?
Well, I guess I'm a part of the advertising industry, and I guess I didn't really do any of that here at True Star, but most of the outside opportunities that I have had and I'm able to put on my resume have come from me being a part of True Star. So the company that I'm with now, Publicis Media, is a part of the same company, parent company that I had an internship with at Leo Burnett. And
Big time companies there.
Yes, I got that opportunity from being a part of True Star. The hiring manager was going out to different teen organizations in Chicago, and True Star was a part of that. So I got that job, that internship, and when it was time for me to go on the job search when I graduated, Publicis Group was on the top of my list. And when I interviewed, I was able to speak to my experience at Leo Burnett, and I was able to speak to my familiarity with the company's culture. And in a way, True Star kind of helped me get to where I'm at right now. Mhm.
All right, Kayla. Now you are a True Star alumni. Tell us, please, why people should invest in the youth who are in True Star programs.
Because when I look at the alumni, it's not just me. There are so many True Star alumni that are doing incredible things. And to me, that just says that the kids that are currently a part of the programs right now are future success stories as well. And they deserve the resources and accessibility that True Star would provide to them to create more opportunity, so that one day they are able to sit down and speak to all the amazing opportunities and experience that they've had through True Star as well.
Thank you, Kayla, for joining us. Thank you so much. We
Thank you.
appreciate you. We're going to take it back to Locke for a donation update. Locke?
You just heard from Kayla, who is an example of star quality that True Star has produced. Help us continue to brighten the path for Chicago youth by making a donation now. You can donate right here on Facebook or at elevate.truestarfoundation.org. By giving $250, you can provide our VIEW staff with transportation to travel safely to cover and report on community and cultural events. I'll return soon with more ways that you can support. Back to you, Genesis.
Thank you so much, Locke. I think it's always dope when alumni return to their roots. True Star's 21 Days of Giving begins tomorrow.
12 days.
Tomorrow. Now, we will be dropping a series of videos that will show how True Star has lit a path to success for youth on the south and west sides of Chicago in a series called True Light Within. This series features True Star alumni discussing their start and where they are now. We would love for you to share these videos with your network and encourage them to donate. Let's go.
Hey, my name is Tashay, and I am a True Star alum. I joined True Star when I was in high school. I attended Gwendolyn Brooks College Preparatory Academy in the Roseland community, and I met one of the founders of True Star, Deanna McLeary, when she came to my high school classroom to tell us about this dope platform. Programs that I went through, I was able to be on the radio on Power 92. I pitched to executives from Pepsi, Nike. I even got to shake hands with Jerry Reinsdorf, okay? So from there, that inspired me to get my bachelor's degree in entrepreneurship. I went on to get a master's in education, and now I'm getting my PhD in leadership equity, so I can bring all of that back to my community. My name is Tashay Denny, and I am the light within the Chicago Riverdale community.
Star Foundation, having a great time. I'm here with Genesis, and Genesis, you know, What's something that really defined for you when you were young that this was your calling? This is something you wanted to be?
When I was younger, because we're still here. I feel like my mom was definitely somebody that defined the meaning of like what it meant to be on the go, and to like she was the definition of theater life for me. Like going to auditions and then end up going to a show, doing full run rehearsals, and me being in the back just to see and analyze, listening in on like pre-show, or what's it called, like introductions. I forgot what the actual term of it is. I'm sorry, Mom, but I don't know what it is. But like being able to give notes, whatever notes I thought I had at the time, that made sense for me. It was like I was like, oh, I belong here with all these people. Like they love to do what they do as much as I love seeing them do it. So that was definitely like a defining, like she was that for me.
I love that. Your mom and my mom have something in common: the world of theater.
Yes.
My mom was a musical theater person. She's an opera singer, and she was.
come
You
on,
don't hear the black opera singers? I know, right?
Come on, opera singer. Yes, ma'am.
To the King and I, fan of the opera, and she never was really into media, but I mean, just she always was about empowering my dreams to be in media, which I always appreciated. Locke, we got a young person here. Locke, I'm curious, man, what drives you to want to be in this industry?
Mainly growing up, media actually wasn't my first choice. My first choice was actually football, but I got like a reality, like only 0.02% of athletes get drafted, which means I don't even have a 1% chance. So I look for something to fall back on. And then my grandfather, he always gave me that go. So not only did he give me that go, my brother, he's a DJ. So I started looking at some of the stuff he was doing, and then I jumped into media.
Oh,
yeah. Now, who said you couldn't do football? First of all, what position was you playing?
I played mainly everything on the offensive line except for center, and then I also played defensive tackle.
Big guy.
And who said you couldn't play football?
Nah, it's just a reality check. Like only 0.02% of athletes get drafted.
I get it, because I had a reality check as well. I played D tackle. I was pretty good in high school, and guess what happened? Get to college, and you realize, this really ain't the thing for me.
Yeah, that's true.
Didn't help that the team was like losing every single game.
Oh God.
But I knew what I really wanted to do. He knows what he really wants to do. He knows it's not football. So what is your actual goal going forward, Locke?
My first actual goal was actually to be a radio host. But as I continue to learn new stuff in media, I pretty much just wanted to make a difference in the world, spark change, put a smile on people's faces.
That's what's up. How old are you, Locke?
I am 19.
19 years old?
Yes,
and you're doing this? Hey, we'll stay in contact, man, because there's lots of pathways for you. It's really important that young people find those pathways, have mentors, but also have opportunities like this, and the opportunity to create, to learn, to grow. And that's what the True Star Foundation is doing. Having this opportunity is something I wish I would have had. I didn't have this type of equipment when I was 19.
I was gonna ask you though, like, who was your mentor? Who was your inspiration?
Ooh, that's there were so many. There was a guy at my first internship, legendary reporter named Chris Profit. He took it upon himself to shepherd me, to take me with him on all his little news reporting things. He let me do the work. There were other guys too. This black man named Jason Spells. He's now over in Brooklyn, New York, covering the Nets. He would say, "Hey man, I need you to cover the Heat versus Pacers NBA playoff game." I'm like, oh really? I'm in college.
Come on.
He's like, all right, so just grab a photographer and ask LeBron this, ask Dwayne Wade this, ask Chris Bosh this, Paul George. And I'm just like, what? Well, I get over the nerves, I do it, and I got that under my belt. What that did, Jason empowered me and showed me that I have the skill. Yes. He gave me the keys, took a lot of trust on his end, and said, here you go, I'm going to trust you with my product. Because in the end, whatever I put together is what he had to use for that night. So that was big. And so that was the first major mentorship experience where I was like, yeah, that means something. And so the goal that we have when we have those, when you have that when you get impacted like that, then when you get there, you got to pass that impact down, right? Yeah. You got to make sure you hand that back down and keep that train rolling, because that's the only way we advance and level up.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure True Star has been doing that for the longest, which is why we are here today doing what we do,
Absolutely.
praising them as they should be praised.
Hey, I could be talking all day, but hey, we got a show to run. Stay tuned because coming up, we got a special performance from my co-host that you don't want to miss. But first, let me throw it to one of True Star's video production team students, Arion Ware, who he's with he's the CEO of
Come on,
Revolt.
CEO.
Okay, let's go. He's with Detavio Samuels. What's up, man?
Today we're here with Detavio Samuels, CEO of Revolt TV. How you doing today, sir?
What's good, young king? How you feeling?
I'm good. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm gonna try to speak a little slowly today. Sometimes I speak really, really quickly, but for our conversation today, I'm gonna try to slow it down and keep it smooth. You gonna rock with me at a slower speed today?
I'm gonna try.
Yeah, let's
I'm
do
definitely gonna
it.
If a teen asked you what kind of advice, like if they want to be like a leader and a CEO, like what kind of advice would you give them?
That leadership is ultimately about fellowship. It is not about what title you have. You can lead from the bottom, you can lead from the middle, you can lead from the top, right? At the end of the day, leadership is not about a position, it's about influence, right? And so if you want to be a leader, you need to perfect the skills that allows you to influence other people, regardless of where you sit on the food chain. And so that would be my number one, man. Just know that at the end of the day, there's a great quote. It might be Higher Learning, which is way older than you, but I think there's this quote in there where he says, "You led," but no. It's Jamie Foxx football movie with Al Pacino. You don't know it, huh? Okay, I'll figure it out by the end. But Al Pacino looks at him and says, "You led, but did anybody follow?" And so that is the most important question to me that a leader can never ask themselves. I'm leading, but is anybody following me? If not, then you're not being a great leader. And you need to build the skill sets and the capabilities that allows you to influence people and gets them excited about following your plan, your ideas, and your thoughts.
Why do you think programs like True Star is so important to us young people?
Yeah. So a couple of things. One, the movie that we were just talking about was called Any Given Sunday. Two, why do I think True Star is important for young people? There's a couple of things. One, right now, the majority of people who are storytellers do not look like us. Like the majority of people in position at Disney, at Netflix, at Viacom, most of them do not look like us. The world needs more young Black and brown people who are phenomenal storytellers in positions. At the end of the day, the way a story hits a community is all about whose lens and whose gaze it's through. And so if the stories that are being told about our culture, if the stories that are being told about our community all come from people that don't look like us, then it's not a position that is authentic to who we are. And so we need to be training more people like you to come up in the ranks so that we have control of our narrative, so that we own our story. One of my favorite quotes is an African proverb that says, until the lion gets his own historians, the tale of the hunt will always glorify the hunter. And so why is it important that we get young folks like you into storytelling, whether of all forms, visual, video, text, etc.? Because we need more lions telling our story. The whole reason Revolt exists is to put the pen in more hands of the lions or paws of the lions. And so, we don't get to do that if we don't have young folks like yourself who are studying, learning at a young age and coming up so that they can be the next whoever, Jordan Peele, Ava, etc. I think that's what's critical. In order to own our story, we got to train a generation of storytellers.
How did you connect with the legendary Mr. Combs?
The way that I end up getting to Revolt is the consultant they hired to be the executive recruiter to look for the next COO of Revolt is a person that I'd worked with 2 years prior at my last company. And so when they call him and say, we're looking for a COO, he immediately hangs up the phone and calls me and says, I found the job, you should take it. So that's how I end up getting into the interview process. Again, Mr. Combs and I connect through that process. Yeah, I always say Mr. Combs, Mr. C, our chairman. And so we connect through that process. And I would call myself a visionary leader, meaning God has blessed me with the gift to inspire people to follow the directions that he gives me to execute against. And I would say it was my first time being in a room with another visionary leader. Like the way, like listening to him talk and listening to his dream and listening to what he was trying to do was so inspiring that you couldn't help but say, put me on the team, I want to come. And so that's how I end up at Revolt. How do I feel about Revolt? It's phenomenal. You know, I've been running businesses, you know, look, got my first president job probably at like 30 years old, right? So I've been leading companies from the top for at least the last 10 years. I've never touched a company that was this hot. I've never touched a brand that was this on fire. And this moment is special. It is unfortunate that coronavirus happened and that George Floyd was murdered, but those two things have created a reckoning in my industry, the media industry specifically, where brands and advertisers now see the systemic racism that exists against Black-owned media companies like myself. And because of that, they are working with us to do some really, really amazing things. And so I couldn't be more blessed or more honored to be in the position that I'm in, where the business is on fire, our audience is growing, the content is growing, advertisers love us, and the opportunity to impact my community could not be bigger than it is right now. The opportunity to work with young Black creators and give them opportunities nobody else could have. Like, it's such an amazing moment that every day I wake up grateful, man, that I'm the one that's in this position to steward this really amazing brand.
You had an amazing friend give you that connection. Revolt is like such a dope platform. Like, what do you think how the current trends are like trending right now? What do you think the future of music is?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things going on with the future of music. So I'll talk about a couple of them. One is ownership. So, you know, music 30 years ago, everybody else owned your masters. You got a small percentage of it. You needed them for everything: creation, distribution, marketing, etc. Today, so many creators are taking that power and putting it into their own hands. You know, you might leverage the big players for distribution, but you own your masters. And just that alone is game changing. Interesting enough that the things are called masters, right? Like, I always think it's funny, people want to talk about slavery didn't exist, or critical race theory is not a real thing, but literally, like, there's racism embedded in our language. The idea that this thing is called masters and they used to own them, right? Today you own your own masters, and I think that's game changing for the business and for the industry. The opportunity, which is kind of drifting off of this, the opportunity to go direct to consumers. Now Kanye doesn't have to wait for Warner Brothers. Now, you know, Diddy doesn't have to wait for whatever label. He can go straight to consumers through social media, through conversations. I think that is game changing for the world of media. I think three, and we've seen this happening over the last few years, but specifically in the time when music wasn't making people a lot of money, how musicians use the music to build their brands, to create entirely new businesses and entirely new product lines and revenue lines. So we think about somebody like a Rick Ross, who made money doing music and then use that to flip it into Wingstop stuff, brand influencer deals, owns Bel Air champagne, right? How musicians are using the music to build their brand, but then do so much more with the brand once they have it there. I think that's a trend we'll continue to see. And then specifically in the world of hip hop, I don't know what it's going to look like, but I imagine we're going to see a lot more different subgenres of hip hop. 20 years ago, things like emo rap didn't exist. Trap was just being created. Lil Nas X blended country and hip hop. So anyways, I think the future is going to look like a bunch of subgenres of hip hop that we don't even know should exist yet.
Yeah, I totally agree on that one, especially Lil Nas X. I was not expecting something like that at all.
Yeah.
So my next question for you is like, what's like your iconic moment in your career?
Iconic?
Yeah.
I don't know that I would ever say I had an iconic moment. I will tell you right now that there's a deal I'm working on that when it gets done, I'm gonna let you ask me that exact same question. I'm gonna be like, this right here.
How would you describe your teenage self, and like what kind of advice would you give him?
Teenage self. I think I've always been a lot of the same. Extraordinary. I feel like I've been extraordinarily consistent. So always focused, always had an achiever mindset, always had a positive mindset, always like firmly anchored in my faith and what I believe. So, it was all that with just, 20 years less experience, 30 years less experience. What would I tell my young self? I would tell my young self that the most important thing they can do is expose themselves. I believe that exposure to the next level breeds an incompetence for your current situation. And all too often at 12, 13, 14, 15, 26, 28, we are locking in to plans and ideas where we have failed to expose ourselves to all of the opportunities. You can't dream of summering if you didn't know that people summered. You can't dream of having a private jet if you've never been in a private. And it's not to say that you have to dream of owning the private jet. What's important is that you get exposed so that you make a grown-up decision about what it is that you want and what you don't want. And I believe that the job from, I don't know, 15 to 25, 15 to 30 is to expose ourselves to as much as humanly possible. And then out of that world that we have exposed ourselves to then lock in on what excites us, what we want in life. If the same things you want in life, if you want the same things in life at 30 as you did at 16, I think something's wrong.
There are many traps to like for young Black men in Chicago. Like, what kind of advice would you give the youth of Chicago?
Stay out the traps. Specifically, stay out the trap would be my first one. Young people in Chicago. I'll probably tie it back a little bit to the answer I just gave, which is the world is so much bigger than your neighborhood. And I understand when we grow up in these neighborhoods and all we see is what we see. And so that's who we become. But what I would say is that the world is so much bigger. The opportunities are so much larger. And don't get caught up on, what's across the street for you or in your 3-block radius. If you want to dream, if you want something different, you're going to have to go seek it out. But I promise you it's there. I promise you it's there. I'm not where I am because when I was a kid, I was like, yo, I'm going to find my way out. Education was not just my way up, it was my way out. Right. And so find your way out. There's a million people who have done it. I think all the time about the cards I was dealt, and I'm often quite happy with how I've taken what were really difficult cards and turned them into something more. And so there's no excuse for failure. There's no excuse for stagnation. There's no excuse for staying exactly where you are. If that's the life you end up doing, and that's the life you chose. Right. My advice to them would be choose different.
What can we expect in the year 2022?
Revolt making a push to be the Black Disney. Right. So part of that means we got to raise money.
Yeah.
We like that. Yeah. Look, Disney got ESPN. That should be a Black ESPN. Disney got Pixar. That should be a Black Pixar. So much of the work we're trying to do is about moving our culture and our people forward. And so that's the work you should expect from us. And that's the work I'm excited for us to be doing.
Thank you, Mr. Samuels.
Yes,
sir. It's been a blast having you.
Thank you for having me, King. It's been an honor.
Once again, this is Diarion Ware. Thank y'all for watching Connecting Young Creators 2021.
And cool insight on what is to come to Revolt TV. We are about to hear from the heart and soul of TrueStar co-founders Deanna McLeary Sherman and Natay Thompson. It is because of the tireless dedication of these two women that over 10,000 young people had quality first-time job experience like mine. Your donation goes towards providing area teams with a stipend for the work that they have created during these jobs. You can donate now right here on Facebook or visit elevate.truestarfoundation.org. And now here's Brandon with our founders.
All right, thanks a lot. Now, thank you for watching Connecting Young Creators 2021. It's brought to you by 1035, a creative company. It's specializing in transforming brands through culture. Now, these young people obviously are incredible, doing amazing stuff here. We've talked throughout the entire program about the impact TrueStar is making, opportunities I wish I would have had when I was in high school. Because I tell you what, if you saw this equipment, we definitely didn't have all of this, okay? And you can help keep these opportunities going. All it takes is a donation. $10, $20, $100, $500, even $1,000 can go a long way, because while these things are great, they do cost money. But hey, it does a lot for these kids with opportunity and setting them up for their future. And now we got to talk to the women who really started this whole entire thing, Deanna McLeary Sherman and Natay Thompson. Hello, ladies.
Hi, Brandon. Thank you so much. You've been doing a great job. Thank you for joining us today and hosting this for us. We really appreciate it.
Hey, I'm happy to be here. Happy to be with you, amazing ladies. So first of all, I just want to know the beginnings of this all. How did you even think to do this and get it started?
I'm second. Okay.
Go ahead.
It's actually a really funny story. I'll tell the short version of
Sure,
it.
yeah.
I called Deanna and she was like, "Who is this?" No, I'm just playing.
No, it kind of happened like
it
that.
did kind of happen like that. Like what? No, but we were both in working with young people. I worked with the Park District at the time, and she was she actually had a magazine at the same time. So heard about something that was happening with, at the time it was Gallery 37, but it was After School Matters. And by me being at the Park District, I went to a lot of community meetings, and we would see each other but didn't know each other like that. But I went to Morgan Park and she went to Whitney Young.
Okay.
And we knew a lot of the same
The
people.
Dolphins, right?
Yeah, the Dolphins.
Okay. See, I be knowing.
Yeah. And we knew a lot of the same people, but we didn't know each other in high school. So it was strange. So when we would meet each other, it's kind of like, hey, it's really cordial or whatever. But when I saw the opportunity, need to switch. Sorry. Okay, so when I saw the opportunity that came up with After School Matters, I reached out to Deanna and said, hey, you want to put together a journalism program? And she was like, what? Like, what do you mean? But I reached out to her just because I knew that she was working in the magazine industry. I had a little bit experience because I had moved to New York and worked at Vibe magazine, and decided to do the application. Hired 17 students at Rainbow Beach Park on the southeast side of Chicago, and the rest is history. It literally, the young people put together a 4-page newsletter. They titled it True Star because they wanted to speak the truth and felt like they were stars within their own right. It actually stands for something. Don't ask me what it stands for because it's too long.
Okay.
It's actually an acronym.
Oh, it's an acronym.
It is an acronym.
Oh my. Yeah, it's a long one.
It's a long one. And every semester, every session, they would say, we want to learn photography, or we want to learn graphic layout, and we want to learn this and that. So we just started adding programs, and it actually eventually emulated a publishing company where you would have an editorial department. We had editorial after school programs. So we was really interested in just listening to the young people and helping amplify their voice. And here we are 17 years later.
That's amazing. You work with a lot of great people too, professionals,
Yes.
young professionals, great kids all around. You two built this thing. You started from a newsletter to a magazine. Now you got this whole digital platform going on. Like you scaled this thing, and it's provided over 10,000 jobs for youth, which goes a long way. What keeps you inspired to do this work?
Well, for me, I'll answer and then let Deanna answer. But what keeps me inspired is the young people. How we got started is listening to them, listening to their need, and understanding that in Chicago, the reputation of young people in Chicago is all negative. The first thing you think about when you hear about a young person from Chicago, like, oh, they're a killer. Oh, they're a victim of violence, or they're a perpetrator of violence. And we wanted to be able to help the young people tear their own narrative and shape their own stories. And we do know that these things do happen, but it's so much more to Chicago than what the media portrays. So the young people is the inspiration for me.
Yeah, and obviously the young people are the core to our mission. And it's really just about being a media platform that celebrates Black youth the way no other media outlet does. And I take real pride in that, and building something that really amplifies young people, celebrates their interests, their perspective. Everybody was a teenager once, and oftentimes we forget that we were teenagers, and I always say, who did I need when I was a teenager? And trying to be that adult for young people who's not going to judge them, who's going to be a ear, who's going to listen to them, truly listen, because we know a lot of adults think they know more. And yes, we do have more wisdom, but young people have they have youth, and we don't want their youth to go wasted. And so it just, I stay inspired because we just want to be what we wanted when we were younger and more, and we come from a city of Chicago where coming up, there weren't a lot of hands held out to help us, people trying to put us on and stuff. It was a very me type of mentality. And we always say that we open that door for young people. We introduce them to people that we wish we knew in high school, people that they could call on later. So it's just, really about just putting young people in a position to win, putting them in a position to be successful. And that's really what keeps me going.
You know what really strikes me the most about this program, media is tough. It's really tough to break into.
Yes.
Y'all know. It's even tougher as a black person, as a black kid. You all have worked at different publications, and the majority of the newsroom or of the work office is white folk, right?
Right.
And those white folk had more opportunity because they had parents who may have been able to pay for things for them, and they could do the unpaid internships and all that type of stuff.
Oh, yes.
And we don't have that luxury. A lot of us don't. So having opportunities like this,
yes,
it fills that gap for sure. Now, obviously, we had a global pandemic hit us, and it changed the way everybody did everything, especially nonprofits. So, Nate, how did you guys kind of weather this storm and still be able to provide opportunities to Chicago kids?
You're right with everything that you just said. This
Yeah.
has been a very interesting season for True Star in the world. And, honestly, in the beginning, we had no idea that it was going to, be this long and be as serious as it was. As things were coming out, we were like, okay, we need to really be paying attention to this. But because we went digital a couple of years ago, prior to the pandemic, we were already positioned perfectly. Now that we now know, we were positioned perfectly to be able to make that pivot and not feel it as much as many other organizations did. Unfortunately, so many other organizations had to shut their doors during the pandemic because they weren't prepared to be able to work with young people digitally. And because we, are trying to master this digital space, it was a perfect opportunity for a new training ground for us to, hit the ground running. And we had an amazing 2020. We're having an amazing 2021, thanks to, people like you all and the young people and parents and family, the community, everyone supporting us and backing us has been amazing. But we've been able to weather the storm, just sticking to our guns, not letting go of our mission, not folding. We said, look, we may not be servicing 350 young people like we did, the previous years, because we just didn't know what the pandemic was going to bring. So let's make it something that is feasible for us to handle. And we took it and we ran with it, and we added a couple of additional programs, and we just made it do what it do.
Sometimes that's what you got to do. You got to make it do what it do. That's what a lot of us did.
And it goes back to listening to young people, because I remember when they came to us and they said, we don't read magazines anymore, we're on our phones. I wanted to be like, no, because I'm a magazine girl, and I come from the print industry as a professional background.
The dinosaurs.
And so it was just really, it hurt. It was hurt because the magazine was my baby. So to hear them say we don't read magazines, but they were right.
Yeah.
And we had to make a tough decision. Do we just continue to print a magazine because it's our baby, or do we really listen to young people and go on this digital world that we really have very little experience in? And it was only one answer. We had to listen to young people. If we had not listened to them in 2018, when they said go digital, where would we be in a pandemic? We wouldn't be where we are now, where we had the digital tools. We were already doing some programs remotely. And so we just had to just scale a lot faster than we thought we did. Yeah. And so now we're really digitizing our entire curriculum. Yeah. So when you look at all of our programs, which are journalism, digital marketing, radio broadcasting, podcasting, video production, and then our advanced super team who works on clients, it really helped us shift, and with the super team specifically, and really with all of the programs, we have been an asset to the city when it came to COVID. Our students have been, when the stay-at-home order first came down, we were out promoting masks. We were creating PSAs. We've been an integral part of the city's COVID vaccine outreach. Reaching young people, reaching their families. So we basically look at the assets that we have, which are young people, and the skills that we're able to provide them, and, really try to be a positive force in the city, so connecting all of those dots. So listening to young people, quite frankly, has never led us wrong. It's always kept us on the cutting edge. They pushed us to do this festival that we did. I'm like, a festival? How are we going to do that? But they pushed us. They wanted it. Yeah. They stood their ground, and boom, it's from the Go Fest.
Yeah.
And it showcases young creatives in Chicago and young business. And it was amazing, and an amazing opportunity. So we don't go wrong when we listen to young people, when we embrace them, when we truly hear them and we invest in their ideas. It's all magic. You know, it's all magic.
You know, Kanye said, listen to the kids, bro.
Yep.
And that's exactly what these ladies are doing. Listen to the kids, bro. That's what it's all about. Okay. So what is next for True Star? What new and exciting things should people know about?
You know, we're digging our heels in the digital space. So we're building a video production team and we're taking on clients. So actually producing videos for other nonprofits, for other small businesses. Because when you look in our communities, that's one element that is hard for small businesses. They don't have the equipment, they don't have the know-how, and they can't have the money for hiring a big production company. But we can leverage and utilize the skills of our young people. They're digital natives. They've been born with the technology. They've had smart technology since, you know, they were little bitty babies. So we need to harness that. And that's what we're doing as an organization. So not only can we build True Star, but we can build our communities. We can build our small businesses. We can dispatch our young people to help other businesses, help other nonprofits. And then we are working, thanks to our partner over at State Farm and their innovation labs, we're working to create a True Star app. And it's not going to be just, you know, the website on an app. That's not what it's going to be. We're still working out what problem it's going to solve, but it is going to solve a problem for young people here in Chicago. And we're so excited. It's totally being funded by State Farm Innovation Labs, the pilot. So the True Star app is coming. And so we'll be reaching out for you all to download that on your phone. And then it's really just about connecting with the community and really what we're here today for, raising money so we could continue to provide jobs for young people in Chicago. They need us now more than ever. It's a pandemic. They need their minds to be busy and not to be idle. They need the community to invest in them. They need these experiences. You know, I remember, Brandon, when NABJ invited our young people to sit with you guys, the bros in media, and just to have all those Black men together talking to young people about their jobs. That's what True Star does, just building those connections. And so
I'm happy to do that again.
Oh yeah, you know, I would love to do that.
Yeah.
Just NABJ has always been good to True Star, so we really appreciate that. But yes, we need you. We need you. We need our viewers. We need our community to invest in us so we can continue to invest in young people and give them these opportunities to scale, to touch more young people, to give them more jobs, and to just really grow.
Yeah. Nate, why should people make that step today to donate and invest in True Star?
Well, just what Deanna was saying, I echo everything that she said. That's why everything that she said just shows why it's so important to invest in the young people today. If you know, if you choose to invest with True Star, you're investing in a young person. You're not just investing in True Star, the organization. You're investing in the future of Chicago. You're investing in the future of the United States and the future of the world.
Yeah.
It's not just about the South Side of Chicago. You know, we're global. You know, we are not stuck in the magazine anymore. So it's really important to be able to invest, and also showing that you care. You know, young people need people to show that they care. They just want to know and listen to, they want to be heard. They want to be felt appreciated. And this is what True Star is doing. And investing with True Star is exactly that. We are investing with our hearts, with our time, and we hopeful that you guys feel the same.
Before we go, you guys have a biggest highlight of 2021 that might come to mind? It's got to be the Go Fest, right?
Yeah. Definitely launching our own festival. You know, and it's coming back. It's coming back in 2022.
Oh, that's
So
exciting.
if you're an artist, a young person who wants to perform, if you're a young entrepreneur who has a business, we're going to have a whole vendor fest out there. If you sing, dance, play a musical instrument, we saw Zaya perform, and she's one of the co-founders of the Go Fest with us. But another big highlight was just being able to sustain the organization, you know, and during these times, and continue to be able to provide jobs, even if they were remote, because young people have went through a lot. You know, I think, you know, when you think about a teenager, they miss their proms, they miss their graduations, they miss their luncheon. time when you're the most social, they weren't able to see their friends. So what does that do to a young person mentally? But at True Star, they were able to stay connected. So just being there for young people. So I think not as much credit is given to community organizations who are on the ground doing the work, who see young people day in and day out. So when you invest, like Natay said, when you invest in True Star, you're really investing in a young person here in Chicago. You're investing in their future. And as you can see with Kayla and Alicia and Jeremiah and Locke, you know, look at what they're becoming. And they're not finished yet. And they're going to be up here a few years later talking about the bigger things that they're doing, you know? And so it's all been great, but we need everyone out there to continue to support us so we can continue to provide these opportunities.
What an amazing program you ladies have created. I love to see it. Thank you so much, not just for doing this and for tonight, but just for what you do for Chicago, what you do for the youth. It means a lot. It really does. And I know for me as a person who loves media and journalism, what you're doing to keep that alive and keep Black kids engaged to make those careers a reality for them means the world. So thank you so much. Thanks for sharing that important information, ladies. As they said, please submit your donations at elevate.truestarfoundation.org. It's also located on the screen below. Now we got a special performance coming up from my co-host. You know her from The Shy.
Yes.
Say what's up and what it do to the amazing Genesis Hale.
Woo, talent, star power.
I'm Howard Knight.
A journalist from True Star Junior magazine will shadow you on this press tour. True Star Junior is a magazine for the urban youth. It reaches over 1 million teens and young adults all over the country. And the winner of this week's hit list not only is gonna win, will get the cover of True Star Junior magazine.
Kennedy. I'm a senior at Whitney Young, and I've been a part of the True Star marketing program over the past 2 years. This summer, I was selected to intern at Leo Burnett, which is an advertising agency in downtown Chicago.
Hey guys, I'm Kyla, and I'm a freelance writer for True Star. I've only been at this program for about a month, but honestly, it's been one of the best months of my life. I feel like I'm being so pushed and encouraged to write more and be more thoughtful, and I honestly am so grateful for it.
Look, I am affirmation royalty. Been at since out the womb. Word of mouth is my greatest asset. I mean, I can get everyone on the same page without reading the room or touching a pen and pad yet. Do this song slap yet? Maybe I should stop spitting and give you vocals. Pretty notes do get you more excited instead of hearing the real. Some of y'all just want to blast, rap, cap, and chill because only 808s and auto-tune got that euphoric feel. Well, I'm sorry, but my pen goes hard. I make handshakes with the sun. No need to reach for the stars. My atmosphere is a masterpiece made by gurus and gods, light years ahead of you rappers, infinity and beyond. See, even your favorite lyricist can't get with this. I'm vicious, sis. My vision to make any average person seem delirious. I'm serious. The power of my words is just ridiculous. Name another rapper that you think aspire with Genesis. Go ahead, I'm listening. Just know that we different. See, I'm globally multifaceted. They're just all Americans. Trying to battle me will really be a bummer, but someone got to bring the heat up in this cold summer. Out. Yeah.
That performance was amazing. I'm Locke, and I had a great time hosting with you, Brandon and Genesis. True Star is one of the best places to work.
You gotta love it. Thank you so much, Locke. You've done an amazing job. Deanna, you got some things you would like to say here?
Yes, that is the conclusion of our program. Thank you, Genesis. You spitting hot fire. We love you. You are so multi-talented. We are so excited about what's happening for you and what's happening in the future. So we just want to say thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Please don't forget to donate at elevate.truestarfoundation.org or directly on Facebook. And we are kicking off 12 Days of Giving until Giving Tuesday. So we're going to be dropping a video every day to show you even more impact that we are making for Chicago youth, telling you the stories of our alumni and where they are now. So thank you, everyone. I just want to thank our sponsor, 1035. I want to thank our just gracious co-hosts, Brandon Pope and Genesis Denise Hale. Thank you, Locke, for keeping it going on the donations. And just thank you to our entire staff, the production staff, that has made this great. We appreciate everyone that's in this room that you cannot see that has made this possible for us. And Nate, close it out for us.
Thanks for coming out. God bless you. Good night. And go donate.
See y'all. Deuces.
Aim the time and place. We don't really got no time to waste. Away, 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 away. You saw me make a way, away. While I'm round the way, tell me that you're feeling some kind of way. Before my casket closes, I just wanna smell my roses. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, I need my roses before that casket closes. Don't you wait until I fade away, 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 away. So no thank you, I got options. I've been popping, put a light in the air while I'm still here. Ain't got no time to waste. Away, 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 away. I know you hear it, be sure that you guessed it. Yeah, I've been tested to test to learn lessons. I keep it real, I ain't got no confessions. If you ain't got it, I got you finessing. Counting no money and blessings. Say what you want about me. I left a situation that was having me stressing. I don't regret nothing, it's all in life lessons. How you gon' bring me and they put me together. Work too hard, you know I can't go unnoticed. Stay focused, I'm open. Give me my rose. While I'm round the way, tell me that you're feeling some kind of way. Before my casket closes, I just wanna smell my roses. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, I need my roses before that casket closes. Don't you wait until I fade away, away, away.